Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. You guys know why you are here. Today we are talking about Carlos King. Where is he? We need to put an APB out on Carlos King, the self-proclaimed king of reality TV, you guys. Where is he? We need him on a milk carton, you guys, across the U.S. because he is seemed to have abandoned love and marriage, Huntsville, as chaos is happening, as the world is being set on fire, courtesy of Martell Holt, one of his faves, and even added Carlos to come get at him. And Carlos did not, at least not publicly, at least not to us, right? So what is happening? What is going on, right? Well, Martell had one of his many outbursts, as he usually does. I'll explain in a minute my theories as to why he did it this time. Tags Carlos King, questions the integrity of the show, calls everybody actors, says that Melody Shree didn't play along with his foolishness, and that producers told him to do X, Y, and Z, except for the X, Y, and Z that he is still doing off camera, without producers, without cameras. So it went viral, right? It went viral the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, Carlos is going to respond. He responds to everything else. He responds to Bravo, celebrities and all the things. He did an immediate video the same night that Mia came out from Potomac with a brand new fiance. Had a podcast, like almost immediately within the hour. On Twitter is, reposting and retweeting comments about Love and Marriage DC and Bell Collective. On Instagram is, promoting the heck out of Bell Collective, promoting, as it pertains to Love and Marriage Huntsville, his in-person podcast with Melody Shree. But nothing else about Love and Marriage Huntsville, even in the most recent post promoting his live and in-person podcast with Melody Shree in Huntsville. The second slide is a clip from Bell Collective, you guys. So it tells me where Love and Marriage Huntsville is on Carlos King's pecking order, and it is at the very bottom, you guys. And it's one thing, if he wouldn't, hype it up whenever it's time. Whenever he needs the millimeters to tune in, he brings Melody Shree along for the press run and does the interviews and does the lives and the YouTubes and all that good stuff, right? And then we never see him again. And then wants to brag that, it's the #1 show in OWN and that it got renewed for season 7. But you're nowhere to be found when all of this chaos is taking place. The only times I distinctly remember you coming out of hiding was when you had smoke for Destiny. And we knew it was specifically about Destiny because you specifically said that you did not want anybody on your show that wasn't sharing their life. And you had said at the reunion, basically you were asking specific questions to Destiny as to why she wouldn't talk about her divorce, why she wouldn't talk about anything pertaining to her life. And she tried to blame everything on the legal issue. But we all know that that doesn't explain away everything, right? Because you could have had a storyline, talking about how you're navigating as a single mom. It was literally one episode where you said you depleted your savings and you were trying to save Madani and pay Rob Peter to pay Paul, and you were seeking Maurice for credit repair. Which, what happened to that company? Where's that at on the show? Does anybody know? And then you were recording a song, and then after that, the rest of your season was, beef with Melody Shree. Right? So you do have smoke when it's pertinent, right? And even Maurice most recently, when he was upset with a content creator for questioning his legal background and whether or not he's actually practicing law and all of the things, because we see nothing on the show, and he referenced Carlos King, that he had a conversation with Carlos King and how Carlos King gave him advice on how to navigate, social media and not to respond to everything and all these things. So the tea is already there that Carlos talks the least to Melody Shree, but all of the rest of the cast always has smoke, always is hitting up Carlos King, whether it is social media drama, whether it is cast member drama, whatever it is. And both Carlos and Martell confirm that he is a frequent caller because Martell is always in trouble. He's always saying and doing something he's not supposed to. But again, he gets a million chances to still come back. He doesn't get fired, you guys. And that bothers me, right? Because I feel at this point he has done far more worse than pretty much everybody else on this show, with the exception of Letitia's mom inciting violence, right? But everything else, is fair game as far as, verbally attacking his ex-wife, as far as the misogyny, the instigation of, all this drama, right? Yelling at Chris Fletcher's wife, having these outbursts at these reunions to the point that Melody Sheree and others need security. Like, he is always doing something, and now it's coming out there might have been an alleged fight with Chris Fletcher, and all these things, right? But Martell continues to come back. So, I have a couple of theories as we're still on the hunt for Carlos King. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not waiting until January 21st to see or hear what he has to say. If he's even going to address Martell's comments at all, even. Because you would think if somebody is calling your show fake, and you're known as a quote-unquote unscripted reality TV show, and you built up this reputation at Bravo and all of these things, and you're still keeping tabs on everything that pertains to Bravo, you would think if somebody called your show fake, and that you were all actors, and that you were all being fed scripts by your producers, that you would come out immediately and say, all of my reality TV shows that I'm responsible for are unscripted. Nobody is being told what to say in a scene. Nobody is being told by production what to do, or fed lines as if it's a movie script or a script for a TV show. You would think somebody who is the ownership of this, who is responsible for this, who says this is his show, that he's the executive producer, that he created this, even though we know Melody Sheree created it. But anyways, he says he's created it, right? You would think he would be, as the face of OWN, that he would come out and be like, that is fake news. Martell is saying fake news. I denounce everything that he is saying. That is not true. But instead, he goes mute. He may throw a little shade here and there, but you don't know who the shade is at because he didn't confirm who the shade was at. Because if Martell's back next season, then it's all for naught, right? Because he went on another rant a few weeks back about people blocking their blessings. But some people speculated that could potentially be about Kiki, right? It could really be about anybody in this cast if we're keeping it a buck, with the exception of Melody Sheree. Because at one point or another, all of these people have sabotaged their own selves and their own storylines to basically make Melody Sheree the problem and do the stupid isolation stuff, right? So, nonetheless, we still do not hear from Carlos King at all. He is still mute. But I want to get into this last bit on my theories as to why Martell had this outburst. And I have a couple, right? And I already said in a previous video, number one being him and his mistress once again, because she tunes into all the episodes, sees once again him professing his love for his ex-wife, and she's in her feelings once again. Because, she seems to believe that the show's still fake. Even though Martell continues to either be shown with his ex-wife or shown with Sheree, shown with any woman that is not his side chick, even bringing a woman that is not his side chick to Houston in the middle of the night for a little nightcap, for a little entanglement, for a little booty call. And this mistress is still riding for him. It's still got his back. Even though he can't even afford to put food on the table for his kids. That Melody Sheree has to send DoorDash, Uber Eats to the residence for the kids to eat, you guys. So while Martell and his mistress are spending all this time obsessed with Melody Sheree, leaking all these audio conversations to bloggers and going on all of these lives and all of these rants on Instagram, you're not getting to the bag. You're sabotaging your own money, your own finances. But Martell does this so that he doesn't have to get put on child support. So that he doesn't have to, pay for anything for the side chick, right? So he can still continue to do whatever he wants, have as many women as he wants, and come to the side chick whenever, right? That's all that is. That's all game, right? But the other side of this is too. Because we do not know officially whether or not everybody received their contracts for season 7, right? But we presume filming is going to be starting soon, right? But there have been previous seasons where filming was literally happening over the holidays as well, right? But what if Martell, since he was already decreased in scenes this season, since he was already missing from episodes this back half of the season, since he was barely in the episodes that he was featured in, except for group appearances in the proverbial, men sit down of misogyny at Black, we didn't see him, right? In his back and forth with Chris Fletcher, right? We didn't see him at all. Because his primary storyline is Melody Cherie. But he fumbled that as well. So we don't see him. So either he got offered a contract that basically what they say on Bravo is if you get demoted from being a full-time cast member and be, basically, bumped down to a friend of the show where you're not getting that six-figure salary, most likely, is a lot of times a lot of the housewives will be so insulted by whatever that number is after all of the years that they've been on that show that they will just, exit gracefully, right? But then there's some people who are just desperate, right? Who are just fame hungry regardless and will use that as an opportunity to try to get themselves full-time again. And they'll take that pay cut for that season if it has a potential for them to come back the following season full-time and get back to that six figures, right? So that's a possibility that Martell was already, offered a lowball contract because he's not bringing anything to the show. Or he was not offered a contract altogether, and this rant was him trying to get in front of it and try to use it as an excuse if we do not see him at all in season 7, right? But there's just a part of me that, again, just thinks this is just another threat to Carlos King. That this is another opportunity, a last-ditch effort to try to get his side chick on the show. But I don't know about you guys. Do you remember a long time ago, the side chick told us herself that she's never going to be able to be on the show. That Carlos King and everybody didn't like her because, remember, she went on those rants and called out Oprah, called out the Oprah Winfrey Network, called out Carlos King, called out production. And remember, she also said she signed away her rights to the show? Like, basically meaning that they can utilize anything about her that she says or does, but they don't physically need her to film any scenes, right? Because if you'll remember, when she did the interview with Tasha K and alleged that Maurice and Marceau and Martell would, stay at these Airbnbs, they would go and quote-unquote allegedly cheat together, would go to Atlanta, out of town, so that they wouldn't be seen or recognized, and they would hook up with linebackers, right? And basically that was her reference to say these women were overweight, right? And essentially, would continue to say things like this and would allege, of course, in more recent audio that Marceau and Letitia are separated, right? Which it doesn't take a rocket science to see that if it allegedly is true, right? But the cast was able to utilize what she was saying on that Tasha K platform, on that Tasha K interview, without having to physically have her on the show. Remember, Kimmy was making jokes with Maurice about sleeping with linebackers and that it was fine, basically, because they weren't married at the time. Remember that? So that is why I don't see a situation where the side chick is going to be on the show. And what real life does Martell want us to see? The real life where he can't afford to take care of his kids? The real life where he blocked his own kids from being on the show to have the judge grant them no longer being on the show? So we can't even see you function as a single father, right? We can't even see any of that. And what is your life with your mistress, right? I mean, do we need to see scenes of you going over to her house after midnight for booty calls? Like, that's the life you want us to see? That's the life you want your kids to see? I'm just trying to figure out what is real and what you're calling acting, right? Because if you're saying that you're an actor, does that mean you were acting when you accused Melody Cherie of cheating on you and you knew that it was completely false and fabricated? See what I mean when people just make outrageous and outlandish statements all the time? And they don't think about the other side of it, right? They don't think of the other side, that if you're alleging your ex-wife cheated on you, that she's not satisfied by you. That if you're alleging you're an actor on the show and everything that you said on the show is a lie, that would indicate that her cheating on you is a lie, right? And you even lied in the scene with Melody Cherie, when she was talking about not, feeling protected and all these things, and, he's up here lying, saying he never said that she cheated on anybody. Completely doing a 180 from what he did in Houston, right? So what is the truth, Martell? What is the truth? Because we know that there is not a truth bone in your body in the event that you feel that you can use something to your advantage, except for the people see you and the people see through you, right? And they know that you're unhinged. They know that you're a cheater. They know you are nothing without Melody Cherie. And that is why these meltdowns keep happening. Notice there's no matching B&Ws anymore with the mistress, right? Because you're not using it on Melody Cherie's dime. Notice there isn't this lifestyle where you're going out of town all the time together anymore. Remember all that? And your side chick couldn't even post you, but will post like your hand or something, or like post your bald head but not your face, or just post something to let us know that you guys were together, but like it was on the low still. You were still hidden, but you still want to be seen. You still want to be claimed as a main chick. But there's still nothing official that indicates that you are even legally his wife, right? So all of that, and even complaining that you wished Mel was still married to Martell so that you could have access to the money, so you could have access to the lifestyle, because your lifestyle has changed. But what I don't understand is why Martell would put his job at jeopardy if this is his only source of income. Nobody's buying his wine. Nobody's buying those suits. Seriously? Nobody's buying anything that Martell is selling. Like, let's keep it a buck, right? So either, like I said, he did that to satisfy the mistress, or he knows that his time on the show is numbered and already got demoted or potentially already got fired, and he's trying to get in front of something to try to make it look like this outburst is the reason, right? Or he's forcing Carlos King's hand. But we know, like I keep saying in every single video, that the moment that this mistress is on the show is the moment it is the last season of the show. All of the millimeters will pack up, stand on business, and peace out. And say sayonara. Right? So I have no idea at this point, you know, what the motivation is, and I have no idea why Carlos King is MIA. Why he is on the face of the milk carton, not to be seen as it pertains to Love and Marriage Huntsville. But if it is Real Housewives of Potomac, if it is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, if it is Married to Medicine, if it is Real Housewives of Atlanta, he is immediately on that podcast. He is immediately on YouTube, recording, being messy, throwing shade. If it is about Love and Marriage DC, if it is about Love and Marriage Detroit, that just came out on the airwaves, he is all in. If he's promoting his live in person podcast to, you know, get the millimeters attention and post about Mel, everybody's all in. Everybody's like, ooh, he promoted Mel. But he's not talking about any of the other shenanigans that take place. As chaos is ensuing, as Martell is setting things on fire and calling into question your integrity, your ability as a boss, your leadership qualities, what tactics you are doing behind the scenes, right? What is going to happen from here, you guys? I'm not waiting 19 days to find out whether or not Martell is going to be on the show or not anymore. But I'm also not going to assume either that Carlos is going to take this bait either and give Martell what he wants, because he likes the dysfunction of having Martell on the show for whatever reason. And it's sad, because Martell should have been off this show seasons ago. Really, the moment Melody Cherie filed for divorce really should have been the end of Martell, because there was nothing else for him to do if he was not going to play ball and be a decent co-parent. But instead, he hid behind the Scotts, tried to get, you know, turn the cast against Melody Cherie. They realized that was the wrong move, and they had egg on their face for supporting the foolishness. So now they're trying to, you know, be a frenemy to Melody Cherie so that they don't get canceled, because they're complaining on other podcasts about, oh, nobody likes us and they want us fired. Well, bring something to the show. Stop lying to us. Tell us the truth. Be honest about your lawsuits. Be honest that you're in business with 20 other people. Be honest that you didn't have a representative with you. Your lawyer was missing. One of your court dates. Be transparent with the people. Open up about the alleged cheating so that we can move on from it. Right? All you have to say is you know your man cheated, you intend on staying, and that's that. You and your man are separated. He lives in an Airbnb. You live in this scrunched up apartment. Scott Manor's never, ever, ever happening and never, ever, ever land. and we'll move forward. But the problem is you keep trying to play in our face. You keep actually trying to act like Martell is suggesting. You're trying to act like you're the power couple. And that's why I do believe, like I said, a couple of the comments that Martell allegedly said that Carlos said about the Holtz needed to take back the show. But Martell seems to only think the only way the Holtz can quote-unquote take back the show is if he is romantically involved or trying to portray that he is trying to win his ex-wife back. He is not thinking long-term that all he needed to do was repair his relationship with his ex-wife, try to be a decent co-parent with her. So, like I said in previous videos, they could celebrate birthdays together, they could celebrate potentially holidays together, they could continue their annual trip to Florida together as a family, as a unit. But Martell doesn't think like that. Instead, Martell is trying to find ways to hurt his ex-wife. And this is at the height of when the Revenge P was exposed. This is the height of when basically his mistress now in leaked audio is saying she would have leaked the Revenge P. In the event, it wasn't Martell in the video. And it was alleged that, you know, some of the cast members may or may have not seen this alleged Revenge P as well. Which also explains why they look at Melody Cherie a certain type of way. Right? So for me at this point, what is there more to do? What are we waiting for, Carlos? You could come out of the bushes anytime and just tell us what it is. Now, we know you're bound to certain contracts, right? We know legally there's certain things that you cannot divulge because you don't want to get sued, right? But you can at least give us a hint. You can at least give us a hint that Martell's no more, or that we're going to have to suffer through him again. You could tell us something. Or maybe this alleged fight with Chris Fletcher was the final straw that broke the camel's back and he got fired right away. And like I said, this outburst was, again, something else to just get in front of. And at Carlos King. And Carlos King is not, he's pretending that he did not see the viral tweet and the viral comments about this whole foolishness from Martell. He's acting like Stevie Wonder when Stevie Wonder was blind. That he doesn't see any of it. Make it make sense, you guys, because it does not to me. But let me know your thoughts. If you have any idea where Carlos King is as it pertains to all of the chaos that is taking place on Love and Marriage Huntsville, please let me know in the comments. Because he only seems to show up in his suit for the reunion of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And like I said, when it's time to promote a podcast or promote, having the support of the Millimeters as it pertains to Melody Cherie, that seems to be the only time he cares. Other than that, he is fielding calls of the rest of the cast complaining about him. Sans Melody Cherie. and other than that, he is podcasting away about all of the Bravo shows. And all the tea and all the shade that he wants to spill about it. But nowhere is he ever defending Love and Marriage Huntsville. Except for that it's #1 show on OWN and it was renewed for season 7. Other than that, he doesn't care. He does not care at all. So there's that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon. See you later.